Today we are going to talk about note-taking tools in Edmentum courseware. Hopefully this will help you as you prepare for your mastery and post tests. On the left side of the tutorial you'll see a blue bar. At the top we have table of contents, and right underneath that we have an awesome note-taking tool. So this is more or less a notepad. You click and type anything that you think is important from the tutorial. Typically I'll start with the title, and you can add key details as you progress through the lessons. The great part is you can use these notes on your tests. We want to make sure that the changes are saved. At the bottom you have a message that will say note saved once it has made the changes, and then you can X out. Right underneath that is a resources folder, and in there you will find the guided notes. These are great for test prep. With the guided notes, I simply type what I see is important in the tutorial in the blanks provided. At the top of your browser window, if you will click on the tab and drag it, you can actually set your screen up to look at your tutorial and your guided notes at the same time. So I'm clicking at the top of that browser window and just snapping it into place, and you'll see how it fits nicely here. I can adjust my zoom. I like about 80%, but you can play around with it and see what works for you. And now it's as if I have my textbook on the left and my notes on the right. And from here, we'll simply follow the tutorial and fill in the important notes. As you can see, the next section, we'll watch our video, but the next section is going to be elements of drama. And sometimes I like to use the highlighter tool that's here to help me fill this in. So as I read through the text, if I find a key term, I can highlight it. By selecting it, clicking the highlighter tool, I'm going to fill in the appropriate word in the blank. And this can be really handy, especially if for some reason I need to go back through the tutorial again. I'll have all the key details highlighted. And it more or less is a close reading. So I would just continue through my tutorial and following along the headings. The plot details are already filled in, so the next section is setting, and I may highlight sort of what's already there. And now that I'm looking to fill in some new information, maybe I'll select a different color. Maybe I'll go with green this time, but the setting is going to help establish the mood or develop the theme. So I'll do that in green, and I'll type that in. So now I have interacted with my text with a highlighter, and I'm filling out my note guide. So really think this is great for helping you get through your tutorials and get as much out of them as possible. When I finish, obviously I would fill all of this out going through all the slides, and just want to remind you that if you close out of this window, it may not save your work. So please keep the window open until you finish. You could download this sort of as a backup as you work, but again, if the window closes, you will not be able to recover your work on the notes. Once it's finished, I can save it in two ways. We'll click print, and we can save as PDF or save to Google Drive. I will first save it to Google Drive. Click save, and it pushes it right to my Google Drive folder. Also, I can click print and save as PDF. We'll click save, and that is going to send it to the downloads folder on my Chromebook itself. So this is like a backup. Make sure you give it a name that you'll remember. Shakespeare Notes 1. Click save. From here, I'm finished with my notes. I can X out of that window, and when I click save and exit, all my notes will still be here, and all the highlighting I've done will remain intact. So you can click save and exit, and what you'll see now is a little pencil next to the tutorial. If you click on that, you can see all the notes that you've taken. Pretty neat. And when I go back into the tutorial, all of the work I've done is still there. You can see all my work highlighting, doing the close reading is there. And go back to Google Drive and then access those notes. I'll click on Recent to access the most recent files. I just uploaded this file here, which is my guided notes. And you can see all the work that we did is included. Now a lot of it's blank because again, as in this tutorial, we did not go through the entire lesson. Always rename it to something that you'll remember. Click OK, and you'll be able to get plenty of review for your test. The other way to access this is to go to your files, and again, this is going to our downloads on our Chromebook itself, kind of as the backup of our notes. So you don't have to do both of these things, but it may be wise. And again, here is the PDF complete with the notes that you added. Hope this helps.